Hello everyone, this is Madan. How are you all doing? Let us first talk a little about history of Jews and their religion. You will find the correlation between ancient promised land by the God and modern day Israel. As far as one can go back the history of Jews, they were always murdered in hundreds of thousands, and wherever they went, they were not allowed to settle and people hated them. They rounded up all Jews and forced them out of the country. On top of all that, they were mercilessly killed in hundreds of thousands. Anti-Semitism has been called history's oldest hatred. Anti-Semitism is hostility to or prejudice towards or discrimination against Jews. Anti-Semitism is considered to be a form of racism. Jews have been persecuted for thousands of years. Persecution means oppression and victimization. From ancient pre-Christian times to anti-Semitism in Islamic world of the 21st century, the Jewish people have been relentlessly singled out, marginalized and murdered. It is so much prevalent today and in ancient times that we can define the word Exodus can be exclusively dedicated to the Jews. Exodus means a mass departure of people from a land. We can even trace it back to 13th century BC, that is about 3200 years ago. Let us take the Old Testament. It is based primarily upon the 24 books of Hebrew Bible, or it is called as Tanakh. It is said in the Old Testament that under the leadership of Moses, the liberation of the people of Israel from slavery in Egypt in the 13th century BC happened. Now let us talk about the promises of God to Israel. The Lord promises He will make Abraham into a great nation and will bless him. Jews believe in one God who created the world. Covenant can simply be said as an agreement. Now, what is this promised land and the covenant with Abraham? Judaism is the religion of Jews. In Judaism, Abraham is known as the founder. He was the first Jewish prophet and took God's message to the people. It was through Abraham that the idea of promised land or a homeland for Jewish people was created. Now let us see what did God speak to Abraham. Abraham received the first agreement with God. Abraham was born in the city of Ur. It is located in the country now called Iraq. God spoke to Abraham in a vision saying that, "Go forth from your native land and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation and I will bless you." Now, Genesis is the first book of the Bible. In it says that God instructed Abraham to leave his home and travel to Canaan, the promised land. That promised land is known as Israel today. In 1948, in the face of opposition from Arab countries in the Middle East, the state of Israel was created. Since then, there have been many disputes and even wars over the land.
Let us go a little bit deep into how Israel became a state. In 1918, World War I ended. It brought the defeat of the Ottoman Empire. Then in 1920, the League of Nations, now called as United Nations or in short UN, divided the lands of the Ottoman Empire into the creation of nation-states. In 1947, the UN General Assembly passed a resolution which would partition Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. The Jewish state would receive about 56% of the land and the Arab state about 43%. From then on, numerous fights, riots, and bombings took place. It was organized by both Jews and Palestinians. Israel declared statehood on May 14, 1948. The new state was recognized that night by the United States and 3 days later by the USSR. Israel became a full member of the United Nations. The age-old dream of a revived state of Israel was now a reality among the family of nations. Terribly angry with this, Egypt, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia declared war on Israel. The war resulted in a divided Jerusalem. At the end of war, that is between 1949 and 1950, Israel held about 78% of the territory of the Palestine Mandate. The Green Line, set at the 1949 armistice, establishes the borders between Israel and the Arab lands. Then Jordan annexed East Jerusalem and the West Bank, and Egypt controlled the Gaza Strip. In 1967, the Six-Day War happened. At the end of war, Israel conquered the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Sinai, and the Golan Heights. The irony is that particular region containing Jerusalem and surrounding nations is supposed to be the Holy Land for at least 3 major religions: for the Jews, for the Christians, and for the Muslims. Can we say that it is a holy land? I am raising this question because there is nothing holy in war and subsequent killing of millions of people, and that too for thousands of years. Now what can I say about this? I can only make a wry and sad face. One interesting comparison statistic of Jewish population and the area of Israel in comparison with Christian countries and Christianity and Islamic countries and Islam. Area of Israel is about 22,000 square kilometers. A Christian state is a country that recognizes a form of Christianity as its official religion. The total area of Christian states is 69,37,737 square kilometers. So the percentage of Israel in area is 0.32%. It doesn't even come close to 1%. To give an even more clearer picture, let us see the population of Jews in Israel versus Christians in the world. As of the year 2020, Christianity had approximately 2.4 billion members, whereas there are about 7 million residing in Israel. So the percentage of Jewish population in Israel compared to Christians is 0.00092%. The total area of Muslim states is 2,29,26,182 square kilometers. So the percentage of Israel in area is 0.1%. According to an estimation in 2022, Islam has 1.98 billion adherents. So the percentage of Jewish population in Israel compared to Muslims is 0.0011%. Now what do you think about this?
Now, before ending this video, let me tell you about the persecution and killing of Jews over thousands of years. As early as 605 BC, that is about 2600 years ago, Jews who lived in the Neo-Babylonian Empire were persecuted and sent out of the country. The total population of the Kingdom of Judah during that time was about 150,000. Records show that about 37,500, that is 25% of the population, were exiled. To imagine this, take the population of India. That is about 140 crores. So 35 crores would have been exiled. Now there was a great happening in the Europe, and it is called as the Black Death persecutions. Black Death, medically called as bubonic plague, killed 25 million people in 14th century Europe. That is about 700 years ago. It killed 40% of the population. There were a series of violent attacks, mass persecutions, and massacres of Jews during the Black Death. So why did they do that? Jewish communities were falsely blamed for outbreaks of Black Death in Europe from 1348 to 1351. By 1351, there had been 350 incidents of anti-Jewish pogroms and 60 major and 150 minor Jewish communities had been massacred and killed. Pogrom is different from program. So pogrom means an organized massacre of particular ethnic group, in particular that of Jewish people in Russia or Eastern Europe. 20 years after the Black Death, that is in 1370, the Brussels massacre wiped out Belgian Jewish community. Then another massacre occurred. That is called the Grenada massacre. That took place on 30th December 1066, when a Muslim mob massacred much of the Jewish population of the city. Then there was massacre of Jews in 1391 in Spain. It was one of the Middle Ages' worst anti-Semitic outbreaks. The year 1391 marked the peak of anti-Jewish violence. Let us see about pogroms in the Russian Empire. The Jews of Russia were the victims of 3 large-scale waves of pogroms. Each one surpassed the preceding in savagery and brutality. These occurred intermittently between the years 1881 to 1921. Then there is the Rhineland massacres, also known as the German Crusade of 1096, were a series of mass murders of Jews perpetrated by mobs of French and German Christians of the People's Crusade in the year 1096. Then there was the Edict of Expulsion in 1290. It was to expel all Jews from the Kingdom of England. After that, the persecution of the Spanish Inquisition, the expulsion from the Spain in 1492. Then there was another deadly massacre that is called the Cossack massacres in Ukraine from 1648 to 1657. Then comes the mother of all massacre of Jews. It is the pure evil of Nazism prior to and during World War II, which led to the Holocaust and the murder of 6 million Jews. Ordinary people like you and me cannot prevent war, but it is well within our hands not to hurt physically and mentally our fellow human beings. This is the message I would like to leave with you. And now, thanks for watching the video till the end. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share the videos widely. Thanks once again. Take care. Bye bye.